From Ann Arbor, Michigan, it's the Rebels and the Wolverines in the Big House.
Another Michigan football season in the greatest stadium in college football.
It just makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up like this is big.
In Ann Arbor, at the Big House, doesn't get any better than this.
Brumfield gonna keep it, and he's in for a touchdown.
Great screen, touchdown, Rebels. Good first down. That's how you come out, start one of
McCarthy going to his right, fires, end zone, touchdown, Wolverines.
Oh my goodness!
And he's gonna walk into the end zone. How about that? A picture-perfect day in the Big House in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The Wolverine faithful out, about 107,000 strong. The Big Ten on CBS. And for the first time, CBS in Ann Arbor bringing you a football game since 1986. Gary was still playing football. I wasn't at CBS quite yet. And today, it's UNLV from the Mountain West to take on the number 2 team in the country. And when you want to make a grand entrance, this is one of the classics in all of college football. Here come the Wolverines. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brett Nessler. My partners are Gary Danielson and Jenny Dell. Well, the number 2 team in the country this week, we see number 1 next week. And we know what champions look like because we've done a lot of Georgia games. This is a Michigan team, back-to-back victories over Ohio State, back-to-back Big Ten titles, back-to-back trips to the college football playoff. But it's that next step, Gary, and Michigan fans hope this is the year.
That's true, and also I think you cannot do a Michigan game in this place without starting with the offensive defensive line, the big guys. You got to talk about the big guys, and they're loaded up front. They've got size. I don't know his exact measurements. Let's just call him big. Miles hitting right there. On defense, they're loaded with a lot of experience as well, and then they go to these guys.
Maybe the best duo running back tandem that we're going to see this year.
I think so. Experience, speed, hunger. Blake Corum is one of the 2-3 returning All-Americans, and then the second half of the year, Donovan Edwards, he finished strong. They've got a 1-2 punch, but what's a little different for Michigan this year, a returning starting quarterback, and is this guy loose?
He's got some swag to him. That's J.J. McCarthy, and he has All-America aspirations.
Special football player.
Yeah, he really is. You know, you talk about the Rebels of UNLV from the Mountain West. They call it the go-go offense, and I'm glad you're here, partner, because I'm not quite sure what that is.
Well, we're going to see, I think, but I think any offense is going to move the ball. If they move the ball against this Michigan team, we have to start with the quarterback, and he has to be multi-dimensional. And Doug Brumfield is second-year starter, but he's got help around him. And I think the go-go offense is all about speed. He's got speed at running back in the slot, but that guy number 2 better pull his weight. Let's see if he can do it.
Can they pull off an upset in front of this crowd? And a unique coaching situation today. With more on that, Jenny Dell.
Yes, Brad, it has been an unusual start to the season for the Wolverines. Today, Jim Harbaugh serving the second of his 3-game suspension that was put in place by the University of Michigan. Now, these all stem from the NCAA recruiting violations that occurred in 2021. To open the season, it was defensive coordinator Jesse Minter who took over the head coaching duties. Today, they're doing something a little different. For the first half of the game, special teams coordinator Jay Harbaugh, Jim's oldest son, will take on the role of head coach. In the second half, running backs coach Mike Hart will oversee the team. Now, while both these coaches are excited for this opportunity, there is a lot of pressure that's going on. Their main mission today, quoted from Coach Jim Harbaugh himself, is to be the guardians of victory.
Guardians of victory. And Jim said this week also, it's not offense and defense, it's we-fence.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a
I'll
good
tell you, if you're around here, you start all the way back to that famous clip of Bo in the locker room. It's team.
Team. Michigan coming off a win last week over East Carolina, 30-3. Barry Odom's team 1-0 after a win over Bryant, 44-14 last week. Barry, we've known a long time. First year as a head coach at UNLV, former head coach at Missouri, defensive coordinator with Sam Pittman at Arkansas the last 3 years, and now his second go-around as a head coach in the Mountain West. It is a nice day, 69 degrees. You talk about football weather. Gary and I are usually sweating through our shirts right now.
This time of year, you're right.
This is pretty nice.
Come on now. Let's go, go.
Second time these two teams have met. Michigan won the only other meeting 2015. That was Jim Harbaugh's first season and the third game of the year.
You know, and as to reiterate your start, I mean, what's cool about the first 4 games we're going to get to do, the measurement of Ohio State and Michigan, then we're going to do Georgia and Penn State. For their season to be successful, it's almost national championship or bust for those 4 teams. So we're going to measure these Wolverine football teams for the long run. Okay, obviously you got to win this game and play well, but the measurement last week for Ohio State was that way, and I think that's the way you got to look at this football team. How do they look in the long run? Because, I mean, Michigan fans, players, everybody connected now, it's national championship.
Well, we saw Ohio State when they were number 3. They fell to number 5 after sort of a lackluster performance against Indiana, but playing much better today, as the guys in the pregame told you. And now we see number 2 this week. Next week we see number 1, Georgia against South Carolina. And then, as Gary said, it's on to Happy Valley against 7th-ranked Penn State. That's not a bad first month of work. Tommy Doman will kick off, and he blasts this one into the end zone. So the Rebels of UNLV will take over at their own 25-yard line.